What is up, RC enthusiasts? Check it out. I've got my boat out here, ready for a brushless conversion. This is that jet boat I just reviewed, so if you haven't seen the video to this one, go ahead and check it out. It's a pretty good runner, and it's a pretty good start to a project. So if you want to do a brushless build or something small like this right here, this one's just a little bit bigger than the Sprint Jet by Jet Jam, or the Sprint Jet by ProBoat. But this one right here is kind of like the size of the Jet Jam, because this is pretty much a copy of, I think. But yeah, I'm gonna get this 2-in-1 ESC receiver combo out of here. The servo might stay because it looks like a 3-wire servo with a weird connector, but it might still work in a regular receiver. And this 390 size brush motor definitely has to come out of here. And that's just gonna require 2 screws right here to be removed, and that coupler right there to be removed. And this right here, just 1 screw. And there's another screw down here that I'm not gonna be able to get to. I'm not sure if I could show it in there, but I'm not going to be able to get to that screw because that was installed in there before they actually glued this together and screwed this at 2 halves together. So that's going to have to stay in there, that 1 screw, but we're going to see where the new ESC is going to go anyway in here. It's going to be somewhere else. But anyway, let's go ahead and let's take this thing apart. There you go. 1 screw. I was able to slide this thing out of there. I'm going to disconnect the servo and disconnect the wires up here. And then now I have this receiver wire right here, the antenna wire. They actually glued it onto the servo right here, so I'm going to have to pull that off somehow. Hopefully it just slides out or comes out easily, but it looks like it's glued in there good. And I don't want to break this because I want to reuse this for something else, because I'm pretty sure this will be useful for something else. Some other toy project or something. So yeah, there's another screw right here to remove for the on-off switch. Let's get that off. There you go. Now you're going to need one of these because the 2 halves are together and you can't get any regular tools in here. This part's a little tedious right here because I can't get a proper tool in here, but it can be done. Looks like to get this one done, the servo needs to come out the way. I'll go ahead and get the servo out the way right now because I need to figure out how to remove this anyway. And if anybody wants to know about these tools I'm using, this is just a basic beginner Dynamite kit that you get. You know, you can buy it online for $20. Link in description below. You can get these on Amazon for a pretty good deal, and it has most of the sizes you would need for most of your RCs in here, all the way up to 10th scale stuff. My whole rift can be fixed with this kit, so it's pretty cool. It comes in this bag right here. So check it out, link in description. Right now I'm just gonna fish this loop through servo horn here just to get it out. There you go. That's out of there. Get the 2 screws and put them on the side so I don't lose them. I dropped one in the hole. That screw out of there. There you go. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm just working on my actual little workbench, but I changed it over to a gaming station because I've been gaming lately with some of my friends just to stay in touch with some old friends. But yeah. So now that I have room in there, go ahead and take those screws out. And I'll also need to take at least this screw out right here just to get this coupler off of the motor, because that's directly bolted onto the motor right there. It might help if I turn it around, it might help me better. I'm struggling with this thing. All about big hands. I wish it was easier to film doing these things for you guys. It's actually easier to just do the mod and show it to you guys afterwards, but actually doing the mod in front of camera, it actually takes twice as long most of the time, because you're setting up the camera, you're making sure everything's getting in the picture, and you're hopefully explaining everything correctly. And as you can tell, 2 screws kicking my butt right now. At least they're on there good, you know. But yeah, as you can tell, I almost have them out. And I'm just gonna have to do this process again to get the new motor in there. Oh, it doesn't sound fun. Hopefully everything lines up. Well, sorry about that, guys. I didn't realize that it stopped recording while I was doing this dismantling right here. So the only part you guys missed really was me pulling this complete assembly right here. That comes out from over here, connected to that shaft right there. You just see me disconnecting these 2 screws right here. That's where I think it cut off. And then I used a 1.5mm hex wrench for this, to remove this screw right here, to remove the coupler. And these are 2.5s, if I didn't mention the size of these earlier. And you're going to need one of those angled ones to get in here without splitting the boat in half, which is going to ruin your seal. So yeah, I just used that, patiently remove those two, remove that guy right there, and the whole motor just slides out like so. And one of these wires was under the battery tray, and you just slide it out. And then your whole assembly is out, and there's the mounting style right there. You're going to be able to mount another motor in here for sure, or it's going to be easily drillable in here to mount new holes for another motor. So I'm going to go ahead and see what motor I can fit in here. And here's the boat, fully gutted out right there, ready for this brushless upgrade. And I am planning, not sure it's going to be done right away, you might see a video of it, me testing it without doing it yet, but I am planning to make this water cooled. So I do plan to have a hole drilled right about here for the tube to come out and go down here to the back, and screw in a pickup here somewhere, just to have like a pickup line right here to pick up some water to run through the motor, the ESC hopefully, and out the side somewhere, maybe up here, so you can see the water coming out. And that will show you that your water cooling system is working, hopefully. So that's the plan, but we might run it without water cooling first, just to see what kind of speeds we get, if the motor is the right motor for this setup, because I don't know the KV of this motor right here, and I don't know what motors I'm going to try to put in here. But yeah, we're definitely going to try different motors, unless the first motor is a, success and it's perfect enough and it's the speed I want, and that might be good enough there. But if not, I'll keep on going. You know me, I just keep on tuning and stuff. Just like this guy right here, still going through its tuning phase. And I might change the V3 ESC receiver combo, or the V2 that I'm using in here. I might change that ESC receiver combo with like a Hobby Wing 1060 or 1025 or 1625, I think the 25 amp one is called, I'm not sure. And once that's tuned out, I'll have a video on that as well. But for now, let's go ahead and put some electronics in this sucker. Well, here we go, guys. This is the motor I chose to run for the first test. This is off of my CD Racing Rocket, that little cool green truck that I reviewed, and it only lasted about, I think it was 4 months before one of the outdrives in the rear finally hollowed out, and I was trying to look for a metal upgrade for that. Wasn't able to find one, so if anyone knows, hit me up in the comments, please let me know. I would love to run that truck again. It is a fun truck to run, just unfortunate that they use plastic outdrive cups, and they just don't last. But anyway, that's the motor for this right here. I'm going to rob it for this for now, but I'm not sure if I'm going to use the ESC from that. I might use the Hobby Wing 1625, I think it's called, ESC. But here you go, this is how I installed this, if you can tell. I have CD Racing screws in there that came with the motor. Well, it didn't come with the motor, but it came with the truck, and I just used the 2 shorter screws that came with the truck while disassembling the motor from that truck. And as you can tell, I have the coupler on there. Now, the reason I put the coupler on is because the coupler has to go on the shaft, which is shorter on this motor, so it has to go in a little bit more. So I put it on first, because once I slide it into here, can't line anything up on camera. There you go. Once it goes in there like that, as you can tell, I can't access that screw anymore, but it's on there, and I can still push it onto this shaft right here, so everything still lines up and spins. The shaft is moved forward a little bit more, so I hope that doesn't ruin any jet effect in here. Hopefully it's still within the tolerances of where it needs to be to create that jet pressure to push back there. But yeah, we'll go ahead and install that, and let's continue this build. Well, there you guys go. Installed everything, shaft spinning nice and smooth over there. So yeah, next step, ESC, then receiver. I'm not sure if I want to try to ZD Racing. Some of you might say, why don't you just try to ZD Racing that came with that motor in that setup? But that can't handle 3S, I believe. And not only can it not handle 3S, it's not a water cooled system, and I don't want to ruin that as well, because I want to put it back into ZD Racing. This is just to experiment with this to see what motor needs to go in here. I'm assuming probably even a bigger size brushless motor than this will end up in here. But for now, we'll try to power this thing with 3S with that motor. 2S, 3S, and put a speed meter in here, and we'll see how it does. I'm gonna go ahead and slap a servo in here, and slap an ESC and a receiver, and I'll show you what that looks like once it's in here. The reason why I'm not showing the rest of the build, really, I mean, I showed you how to take everything out. Everything just goes in the opposite way. Obviously your ESC and receiver are going to go in different locations now, and your battery hopefully will still go in this location. And if you use a LiPo, it should be lighter than the lithium ion it came with, so it shouldn't really affect the weight too much if you use a 3S. Maybe somewhere between an 800 3S to a 1500 milliamp hour 3S. Should work. But you know, it's all experimental. I don't do anything, I don't do any calculations, I'm not mathematical or anything like that. I just have spare parts, put stuff together, and try it out. Well, alright guys, here we go. This is the route I chose. I was looking through my spare parts bag to find some servos and some stuff from my other boats, and I actually found an old barbed wire 3S capable ESC that still works. I just had one wire disconnect right here, that's why I thought it was broken, but I fixed it, or just twisted it together and it runs, so I'm going to solder that together and fix it. And I'm going to be running this ESC. It does run on 2S, which I have plugged in 6200 right now. This is obviously not going to go in the boat. I'm just powering it up to see if everything works. And I have my Hobby Porter receiver in here. Probably going to go on this side. This ESC is going to go on this side once I tidy it all up. And I got this servo from a spare boat I had laying around. This servo wasn't being in use, so yeah, as you can tell, this Hobby Porter is what I'm using right here. Sadly, they don't offer this anymore. I can't find this transmitter anywhere, sadly. So if you're watching my older videos with the links to this, those links no longer work. And unfortunately, I tried searching for this transmitter. I can't find it, but you can tell. I have steering. And sounds crazy, right? It's on 2S and it sounds pretty powerful. But yeah guys, that's it. I'm using an old school barbed wire 17-inch boat brushless ESC right here. ZD Racing motor, unknown KV, anywhere between 3300 to 4000. I'm not sure what it is. And a spare barbed wire. That's probably a barbed wire servo as well, because I had a lot of spares for my 17-inch barbed wire before it sunk in the bottom of the ocean. I had the lid untaped onto that thing, so it sunk. This is why I tell people to always put boat tape or some sort of hockey tape on the lid, just to keep it on there, because when you lose your boat, not only have you just lost all your electronics that were in that boat, you lost whatever battery that was in that boat, and receiver, and that's just more stuff you have to buy. Or, you know, just lost for good. Well, there you go guys. Fully functioning now. Ooh, sounds like it has a lot of power on 2S. Alright guys, here I am. Here's the boat. This is how it looks like in there now. That's where the GPS meter is going to sit. 2200 3S 25C right there. So yeah, we're going to be running over here. I'm by my buddy's house again, and he lives right by this park. And it's pretty big. And I brought this as a recovery boat just in case, because I need something to get back out the water, because this obviously has lost its self-righting feature with this brushless upgrade. Let's go ahead and let's get this in there. Alright, here we go. 1000 milliamp hour Tuso. It's all plugged in. And I got my GPS meter right here reading 0 right now. It's waiting for the satellite, but I'm pretty sure that will go ahead and be ready by the time I get this in the water. So let's go. Alright, let's do this. And it floats. Now does it run? So it's definitely faster. Not that much, but on 2S it's definitely faster. Let me try to get a straight line speed run out of it real quick, and then we'll bring it back. Oh, I think that's it right there for top speed. Alright, it didn't get wet inside, and it did 13 miles an hour. So yeah, that's the speed right there, 13 on 2S. Now let's put a 3S in this and let's see what we get out of it. Alright, there we go, 2200 25C 11.1 volt LiPo. Let's see how it does. Ooh, it's just flying out the water and it's getting cavitation. See? It's too fast. I think this is all it likes right here. It's like half throttle on 3S. Here's full throttle. And try another full throttle run. Let's go ahead and see what we got speed-wise out of it. No way. 14 miles an hour. That's it? That's only like a mile an hour faster on 3S. So I guess 2S might be the capabilities of this system. But yeah, it was cavitating really hard. So anybody out there that's professional with the jet boat stuff to know how to make this go faster, let me know. Because, you know, I'm just experimenting. I'm not professional. I just love to run that RC. Pretty stable, guys. Not fast. Oh, and that was it. Well, there you go. The shaft came off, and now I got to retrieve my boat. The shape of the boat's making it hard to recover. Alright guys, thanks for watching as always. That was fun. It's time to get my sprint jet back because that sucker's still in the water over there playing around. Get back here, sucker. Where the heck you think you're going? Alright guys, thanks for watching, and as always, have fun. Go out there and run that RC.